recording now?
We're recording. All right, we're recording. It was, what were we saying? What was it?
Hard, fast, and
Loud?
hard, fast, and loud.
Hard, fast, and loud. We're back with the Smokin' Poetry podcast. We need to get a formal, proper interview with Andrew Ingram because we keep having all this other crazy stuff happening. And we got Jonathan Song of Sutarima. I keep pronouncing it wrong. Sutarima.
Yep, Sutarima.
Sutarima. I got it. Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
Should I just say go this time?
Yeah.
All right, go. Go, Andrew.
Go me. I'm just supposed to start talking.
I think that's...
You just want me to dance for you like a monkey? It's like, oh, we got the comedian on the show. We're just going to make him yell about how poorly his life is going, and that's entertainment, baby.
Well, at least he didn't find out you were a comedian and just ask you to come on here and tell a bunch of jokes.
Well, that's true.
Make me laugh.
Oh, someone
Funny
just got
man.
a bee in their clothes over there. That was odd. Did you just get a bee in your clothes? Are you
No,
okay?
I was about to. I'm like terrified of bees. So
Okay.
Someone else is gonna come grab us.
She was fighting it earlier, too. She had a whole tray and was like trying to hit it.
Well, anyways, with this rough intro, we are here at the Pie Bar, and we're dropping things. You know, this is just gonna keep
Good
going
Lord
through
in
this
heaven.
mess. We're dropping things.
I love
the
this
bees.
show.
It's like we couldn't start over, but nah.
Yeah. No, it's the Smokin' Poetry podcast, everybody. I'll introduce the show.
You do it.
I've been on it, I think, more than anybody else. at this
Actually,
point.
you're number 3 right
I'm
now.
number 3?
You're number
Okay.
3, and you're probably gonna be number 2 real soon.
Okay. Well, here I am, everybody. Andrew Ingram, once again on the Smokin' Poetry podcast, a show with about 12 episodes, 6 of which I'm on, and somehow I'm the third most popular guest. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know where you are with math. This is, I think, number 32.
And number 32. That's
Number
not bad.
32 episode.
That's good.
And, well, let's get back to...
With a 6-year hiatus in the middle.
Kind of. Well, actually, the way it was produced, not so much. But, okay, let's do proper interview stuff since we just have to do it.
If you say so,
let's-
Dad.
Okay, who are you? Not everyone who's watching this already knows about how wild and crazy you are. So let's tell the other people.
I just turn into Steve. My hoodie becomes a white suit, and I just turn into Steve Martin. Wild and crazy. No,
Yeah, that's where I got that probably.
yeah. My name's Andrew Ingram. I'm a comedian and a writer, and a guy who likes to make things and likes to get paid to make things. Yeah.
All right. Well, what are you making?
What am I making right now?
Yeah.
Jokes mostly. I'm doing a little bit of writing. I'm doing 2 podcasts that I'm doing a book club podcast myself. It's called the Midnight Butts podcast. And I've been doing a little bit of writing, tinkering with some stories here and there. I'm waiting on revisions for I'm waiting on edits from my editor for my first novel. So I've just kind of in limbo on that. It's hard to write anything else while I'm like waiting to see how much my editor thinks it sucks.
Well, let's try to focus some of this here now.
Yeah.
This is like my life.
I got
It
a
sounds
lot
like
of
too many
stuff
things.
going on, yeah.
Well, let's talk about writing.
Okay.
All right. What's this novel? What's this about?
So this would be my second book. I have one available, yada yada yada, etc. But I wrote a bunch of short stories, and this time I wanted to write a novel, and I wanted to write because that's generally what I read. I read novels. I wanted to make something about friendship, and I wanted to make it have some sort of magical realism element to it. Some sort of like something magical happen in a predominantly normal world. And so I decided to write a book about, from the perspective of the best friend of a girl who knows everything. Everything.
Like she actually knows.
She actually knows everything.
Okay.
We don't know why. She won't tell anyone. She knows why, but she won't tell anyone.
Because she's the universe.
Well, or whatever. I mean, but you know, it's kind of a story about I started it. This is kind of, if you're a writing nerd, this is interesting. I don't know, but like, I started in third person omniscient. Top down, where the narrator knows what's going on with everything, and then I realized, oh, there's a reason Sherlock Holmes is from the perspective of Dr. Watson. It's because Arthur Conan Doyle isn't as smart as Sherlock Holmes. So he can't tell you what Sherlock Holmes is thinking, because what Sherlock Holmes is thinking is smarter than whatever Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is thinking. So if I have a character who's smarter than me, I have to find a way, and especially if they know everything, I have to find a way to tell that story. And I wanted to tell a story about friendship anyway. So yeah, it kind of starts from when they meet in, I think the first grade on into early adulthood, and the choices you make when you have that kind of power, and how you can do things for good, and what personal boundaries are when you have those kinds of gifts. And I don't know, I think it's a fun story. I like it.
It's an intriguing concept.
Yeah, and it takes place in rural Indiana, so it's a real poppin' community they're growing up in.
I want to flesh out more, like how much of everything does she?
Everything.
Like literally
everything.
in every moment.
Yeah, she
Things
knows.
that haven't happened yet.
Yeah, she knows the future. She knows the past. She knows whether aliens exist. She knows how many grains of sand are in the Sahara. I Googled how many grains of sand roughly there are in the Sahara. They said, well, it's somewhere within this bracket. So, when she's explaining that to somebody in the book, it's like, oh, 12,000 grains of sand just blew off, technically. Also, that's not how topography really works. Things kind of blend together, but whatever. Yeah, and I think it's a successful story. I think it manages to be exciting while being about a character where it's really hard to make dramatic tension. Because this is a character who can't be surprised.
Right.
So, there were some hurdles there. There were, everything had to be very based in character and in the character's senses of morality if I wanted anything to happen in the story. So it was a fun challenge. I'm excited to write other things, but it's going to be hard to do.
And that's a perfect file slice
yeah.
cue.
Yeah.
Up on the camera too.
You guys are more desperate for attention than I am. And I'm a comedian.
I'm desperate for attention. I don't know. Let's talk about that part of the life. Desperation for attention.
Yeah, I think that is the... Do you think that's the artist condition or the performer's condition? I can't tell if there's a difference there, really, Like the idea that people write about this all the time, right? Like, why do you do art? Is it so you live on after you die or any of that? It's like, mostly for me, it's like, if I don't keep my brain entertained, I want to kill myself. I don't know. It's like, I'm just trying to not die. I'm not trying to be remembered later. I'm just trying to not die. What about you guys? I don't know. What do you think? Why do you do art?
You're gonna start interviewing us.
Yeah. Man, have you listened to a podcast before? There's no such thing as a host. You're on my show now.
This is the Andrew Yeah, I mean, I feel like we talked about it a little bit in my episode.
Yeah.
Just, it's a way to get some things out. Honestly, sometimes it's just in a very similar fashion. I'm bored and I just need to do something, and that's why I'll write different types of poems, because I'll put myself in a room and I'll try to write from that perspective. Yeah, and more than anything, it's a coping mechanism, but it's also definitely something that helps me do something with my day other than sit around waiting for time to pass.
There is I guess I do respond to the like I want to make something that matters, but I don't think it has to matter to anybody other than me. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
completely.
Very much.
like I like I have to do something. I have to create or I get sad. And so I don't know. I don't know. Do you guys feel like you're doing it for an audience, or do you feel like you're doing it mainly for yourselves? It's hard for me to tell sometimes.
For me, it is when and a little bit of it both, but it is initially when I come up with it, me.
Right.
It is very selfish, right? The way I come up with it. But then as I develop it, I might think, hey, how could this relate to others? So it's kind of a blend, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think even that thinking of others is also in and of itself super selfish? Because you're looking for validation there. You know, or at least I feel like that's one of my motivations.
Very much.
You know.
I feel selfish for thinking about other people.
Yeah.
Frankly, that has led to several traumatic events in my life. Multiple.
Is anyone having fun listening to this? Remember last time when we just like moved the camera a bunch and I was an asshole?
Yeah. We're back.
I was basically just being mean to Mike for like an hour last time.
That's too easy. Well, what else can you be mean to me about?
I don't
switch
know.
to something
Let's
fun.
see.
That's an easy
I
one.
like that you have Hunter S. Thompson glasses. You do look like a gentleman anarchist.
I'm not.
You do look
Like if he has a briefcase, we should probably be wary.
You look like an eco-terrorist from an early '90s movie. You do look like a Bond villain from a book that never got made into a movie.
I could do something with this.
Yeah.
What's in
Let's see.
Why don't you put him in a little white lab coat and then he's a doctor person?
You look like your dad owns a banana plantation.
With the hat on. For
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
You look like you're appropriating boomer culture.
how long can this go? I don't want to challenge it.
I can stop. I feel like I'm actually hurting your feelings, and I don't mean. I'm so sorry. but
I actually love it. I just feel like this could go on for about 2 hours.
Yeah, I could just keep doing that.
We could just do this as the
Yeah.
whole episode. Well, what else do you want to ask and make fun of?
You look
It's
like
your
you
co-host
look like
Christopher.
Mr. Peanut as a person.
I'll go with that. He was pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
Well, all right. Now, this is where I ask you like the make us cry question. I don't know. No, I'm not gonna do that. Let's talk about your podcasting or something. Let's organize this podcasting. I can't keep
Okay,
track
so
of it.
I've got a couple shows. One, I think the one that most people would like is I am the producer actually of a show called Two Girls, One Cocktail. It's really fun. The girls make a new cocktail every week and rate and review it, and I'm kind of like on this show, just the asshole in the background, kind of playing into the chaos of everything. Because as the show goes on, we get drunker, and there's been research has been done. It just kind of becomes a mess every week, and I love it. And then I have to edit it afterwards, which I hate. But it is a really good show. 5 stars would recommend. And if you're into literature, specifically, I have another show. But
Well, there might be one or two people
Yeah,
out there who are like read like that kind of stuff.
yeah, I write, I read. I like talking about books, so I made a podcast called Midnight Thoughts, where I read my book, and now I'm doing a book club every month where I talk about my guests' favorite book or a book they like. And I just put out an episode, or the episode for September is with Cesar Gonzalez. We talked to Dispossessed by the great Ursula Le Guin, who's one of the best sci-fi writers of all time. It's a book about capitalism and anarchism and the things people owe each other. It's a really fantastic read. And so you could check out the podcast to hear more about it, or read the book and then check out the podcast. But honestly, we just talk about how much we like the book the whole time.
There's worse things you could talk about, but let's talk about slicing the pie.
All right, we're recording again, by the way. So.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Already? Oh, shit.
There's a B. We're doing great here, guys.
No, I just realized if somebody's standing here,
Uh-huh.
you can see them in the mirror there.
Oh, that's fine.
No, it's weird.
But you're not standing there, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm standing here right now. I'm just looking.
Yeah. This is great podcasting. You know Mike's not going to cut any of this.
He never does.
I love it. I love it.
Okay,
It's
just
fun.
Arthur, just yell some fucking
Yell some
Is it
questions.
actually recording now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh, well, this might
Yeah.
be it. I didn't realize it was
I
recording.
told you that like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, all right.
So,
All right.
what got you
Okay.
into comedy, man?
What?
Just a hard transition.
Hard transition.
What got you in?
Blue pills.
Blue pills got me into comedy. You know, you could just get blue pills, buddy. You don't have to do a set first. No, I got into comedy because I got out of the army and all my friends moved away, and I needed some sort of community. I found out I was listening to podcasts with comics on them, and they said, "Oh, every town's got open mics," so I found one and I wrote some jokes, and I thought vaguely being funny would make me better at writing because most funny books aren't funny. Most comedy in writing, unless you're, Mark Twain, Douglas Adams or Terry Pratchett, I probably don't think you're that funny. John Kennedy Toole's pretty funny, but he only wrote one book and then never mind.
I always talk about how much is the writing versus the presentation. And that's the big thing.
What do you mean?
To make a joke funny. I mean,
on stage or in a book? Because in a book, there's only the writing, and it's so subjective. What you're picturing in your head is not what the author was ever picturing in their head, so it makes it difficult in writing. A few people are very good at it. There are more funny writers than the ones I listed. They're just, I think, the ones who are best at it, in my opinion. But I wanted to get better at writing funny shit. So I started doing comedy and found out, you know how you write something and then it takes months for anyone to see it? I could just do stand-up every night. And that dopamine got me hooked.
where did you start doing that?
Here in Colorado Springs, I started at the Zodiac and doing open mics there, then started doing showcases and stuff, and that's just what I've been doing. I got a comedy album out that did fine on Spotify for a while.
Ooh, comedy album. We
Yeah.
haven't heard that much about that from you.
That's because a lot of it's about my ex. I feel weird promoting jokes about someone I'm not with anymore.
All right, well, let's talk about how to find. Now everyone wants to find it.
No, you should find it. It's called This Was a Bad Idea.
The marriage or the divorce?
Yeah, the marriage. No, I did the album while we were still together. So there's just stuff about being married and stuff that I feel weird sharing with people now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I got an important question.
Yeah.
Therapy or comedy? Which one helps you most?
I mean, I've only been in counseling a few times, and I always found that was somebody punching a clock, which doesn't mean it wasn't helpful, but it was difficult for me to buy in the way you're supposed to with counseling or therapy. And comedy is a thing I can do myself. Now, there's a lot of negative things about comedy too. People talk about comedy as therapy, but it's also a great excuse to be an alcoholic. I mean,
And an asshole sometimes.
and an asshole
Yeah.
sometimes, and it gives some people they get off from I'm the best comic in my scene, so I have power. Some people get off from making the audience laugh, and that becomes unhealthy because they need it. It's like anything else. It can be a great thing for you to do, but there are also downsides to it.
Okay.
I
So,
think
quick
yeah.
take. What 3 comedians would you never follow after their set? You'll just be afraid.
I don't really believe it. I'll follow anybody, but I'm not afraid to bomb. So,
Nice.
like,
I heard you said you're really not afraid.
I'm not. Like, but like sometimes that's what it takes. It's like I know this joke isn't ready yet, but I have to do it in front of people to figure it out. I mean, you've mostly seen me at open mics where I'm a better comedian than what I do at open mics because I'm figuring new shit out.
Yeah.
You know.
Good job.
Yes, sir.
I was having a good time just letting the studio audience ask questions, but now they're out back to eating and drinking, so I guess I have to do my job.
Yeah, you
or
got to do
something.
your job again.
I was just gonna sit here like the whole
Yeah.
show and just. Like,
Do you want me to do more you look like jokes?
That should be a whole routine for you. I mean, well, we
Well,
do
yeah,
have some
but I
stuff
mean,
to
I could do
promote.
it to Jonathan too. I could do it to everybody.
Good.
It's more fun to do it to Mike.
It's just easy. But which transition we were talking about? Oh, your comedy life.
Jonathan, you
And-
look like you spend more time on your hair than your poetry.
No, it's actually probably about the same.
Let's go with that.
Sorry, I'm
I
done.
don't have any-
That's-
I don't have any
Damn,
more.
the beat's back for my drink.
yeah, it's fruity. You got a lemon wedge there. You should throw the lemon
It doesn't
wedge.
want the lemon wedge.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll circle everywhere else. This is also great for the.
Oh, then you should
podcast
just
site.
put the lemon wedge in the middle there.
What is the deal with lemon wedges in society anyway? I mean, I don't.
I think it's a fruit and it's around, so people wanted to do something with it. People like sour things.
Why? I don't know. I just.
You just don't like sour.
I don't
things?
like lemon. No, it's. I have a thing about the lemon wedge. I just don't know why are you doing it. It seems
I
like
do
a big
think it's
waste.
like a waste of fruit for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's
You
other
don't eat
things.
your lemon wedge?
I put it in the drink, but I don't usually eat it after now.
Yeah, you should.
I'll eat the cherry.
Why are you laughing? This is not that kind of. I don't know what kind of show you think this is. But
I don't know what
what the sto- we have any
innuendo you
questions.
thought I was trying to
Dude.
pull off, but I'm into it. Footage that we got last time was really
Okay, now
interesting
you're
and
recording.
insane, and all of this I feel like is really boring.
Yeah,
And,
right.
You know what?
We did a much better job last.
Well,
time.
I don't know if it was better, but it
I
was
think
definitely
it was better.
weird. It was more avant-garde for sure.
How can we recreate? Yeah, so here's what we did. We were recording last week, and I'm not a professional here. I'm doing my best. We had an audio screw up.
The audio didn't work, but we were outside with a very one-directional mic to keep the ambient noise away, and Jonathan was just doing all these great swoops and close-ups on my eyes and shit while I was talking, and I don't know. It was a very manic episode, but it was a lot of fun. And this is just me being like, I don't know, what is art, boys?
Well, we did get some good material about what I look like, at least.
Yeah.
And about your hair.
We could just make that a reel. That'll sell.
Well,
We should
that's gonna
just
be-
do a yeah. Let's see what else does.
Well, what do we need to promote? We were talking about what we need to promote, and we do have. I guess we can start talking about the Green Line show, right?
Yeah, that's October
October
30th.
October 30. We're still kind of figuring out. We got Andrew Ingram is going to come. We have one of our studio audience members. Should we give him a shout out or leave it a mystery?
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm just going to leave it a mystery. Someone will know who he is. But we're going to have Ferret on the music, doing, I don't know what
Yeah.
kind of music he's going to do. He knows so many different things.
Yeah, he'll be doing music.
He'll be doing music.
Something spooky, I imagine. He'll
Oh.
probably have some sort of Halloween song mixed in there somewhere.
I already wrote something.
Yeah.
I already talked to him about it.
Oh, nice.
And okay, so who's on the show? Matt Medina, Leslie Fox, Sarah B. Serious, Art the Poet. It's gonna be awesome.
And me too.
Oh yeah,
You did say me.
I did say you first. So, and you.
I just
And
wanted
me.
to hear my name again.
And I don't know what we're gonna call it for sure. It's something to be. I kind of like. Oh, you had a slogan when we were doing a little thing before, so just call it the show. And I have the Ultra Flat show coming up, October 7. I'm just calling it the music show because you say just call it the show, so it's a
Yeah.
music show.
You just got to come up with a name that sounds fun.
So we're just gonna call it
yeah,
something
call it
smoking poetry podcast show, something.
Yeah.
We'll come up with a name. We'll come up with some more details for you in the future.
Smoking. Yeah, smoking. I don't know. We'll workshop it later, guys.
Yeah, we're working on it. And today we're plugging the Pi Bar, the 3.14 Pi Bar. You put different things in the Google or the searches on Instagram, it comes up different. But if you put it 3.14, it comes right
If you
up.
put the Pi Bar into Google and you live in Colorado Springs, this place will come up first.
PI, not PIE.
Or PIE. Both will bring up this place first.
Will it?
If you type Pi Bar into Google, it'll bring this place up if you live in the greater Colorado Springs area.
Well, it's awesome. We're on Centennial Boulevard, and they have amazing pot pies. They have all kinds of pies. Chicken. What did we have? The Guinness.
I had the Guinness. Yeah, it had beef and carrots and onions in it. It was great. I love a good pot pie.
Was yours
I
great,
love a
Jonathan?
bad. Honestly,
Yeah,
I love
the
a
Julius
bad.
shallot with the beef.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? Bourguignon or whatever.
I don't know.
And it was delicious. The meat was like perfectly tender. I was honestly really surprised.
Yeah, I love a bad pot pie, but these were good pot pies.
Oh, and the dessert.
Yeah, everybody loves a banquet pot pie. It's just
Yeah.
the spot sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you grow up like I did. You do.
Yeah, exactly.
You-
Well, so check this place out. Dessert pies are really amazing too here. And do you have anything to sell, Jonathan?
I don't sell things.
Okay.
If people wanted to ask me to write something for them, I could, but I don't even know if I would like ask them for money because I just like to write.
Well, you actually post these beautiful poems, and you write prolifically. They're like, seems like they're coming out every few seconds or something. I mean, on there, and they're all amazing. So how do we find you?
Oh, that's at Song of Sutarima on Instagram. Sutarima spelled Sutarima.
What else do we want to talk about now that we're done selling stuff?
Just make me sell me.
yeah,
Feel so
you just
dirty.
sold yourself.
Well, we had.
Yeah. Welcome to show business, baby.
Yep, that's how
Take
about
your
that?
shirt off.
How about that for a
What do you think you
final?
answered for, Jonathan?
Let's use that as our final discussion topic
Yeah.
of the day, so we have a good, even kind of time. What is it like this business? Do you feel like you are selling yourself?
I mean, not well, but yeah. I
Well, how much is genuine yourself versus how much in this business do you feel like you're trying to do something to get the gig or something?
I'm not really capable of being anything other than me. So whenever I do try to like be political or like make a move, it always looks like a move. Like it always like I'm trying something new and it just comes off as tacky. I feel like I think I only sell myself well when I'm excited about what I'm doing, and that excitement comes through.
I'm going to borrow the studio audience members line. What's like a good example of a really bad joke that bombed that you want to talk about?
Okay, I'll tell you a joke I think is funny that never works as well as I think it should.
That's what Art was talking about.
Yeah. I grew up reading a lot of fantasy novels, right? And it just like, as I got older, it broke my heart when I realized that knights were just jocks with rich dads. And like,
You want a cherry?
sure, I'll eat your cherry. Thank you.
Why are y'all eating cherries?
Why aren't you eating
Because
cherries?
they're here.
Don't be mad at me because I have more over here than you do.
I don't know.
I'm not just
Hey,
saying
stop heckling. You're being a bad audience member.
You don't really eat mayonnaise.
No.
Because the Texas is like, man.
I was literally in the middle of the joke and Art started talking.
What is that? You know, that's another.
It's like open mic. It's like
just
right
like
open
it's
mic.
like-
Someone, yeah, this is what we always complain about when people start talking in the middle of the sets. And then here he is. So let's
I'm
back
sorry,
up.
buddy, I
Can-
love
Can
you.
we get back to the joke? Should we try
Yeah,
it
sure.
again?
Okay, so it broke my heart when I realized knights were just jocks with rich dads, right? So I decided, like, at that point, I don't want to be a knight. I want to be a jester. Because a jester's the only one who gets to tell the king the truth. What I didn't realize is, like, it's hard. It'd be funny every night when you're the jester, because if you have a bad set when you're a comedian, who gives a shit? Like, oh no, I had a bad set. They're not gonna book me again? That's the worst thing that happens. You get canceled because you said something racist, you still get to eat that night, but you have a bad set as a court jester, it's just like, fucking off with your head, bro. And I have like an act out where he's like talking to the headsman because the headsman's the only one with a dark enough sense of humor to be friends with the jester. And like, it's nonsense. It doesn't work. But there's something there that's so funny about, I don't know, just the knights being jocks and the jester being the nerd in the back of the class, just telling everybody what they don't want to hear.
It might make a good short film.
Yeah,
I
should do a bunch of research and write a book, right? Like, I should write, as a comedian, write a novel about a court, as a comedian and a fantasy fan, write a story about a court jester. I don't know. Where the jokes are actually good.
They better be.
Yeah, they better be.
All right, so have we wrapped up? Have we sold what we need to sell? Have we had our discussion?
I don't know.
topics?
Everybody can buy my book on Amazon. It's called Midnight Thoughts. We've talked about it enough.
All right. Well, thank you so much to everyone for watching. Thank you to Jonathan, not John.
Thank you.
It is a bad habit I have of doing a short version sometimes. So thank you to Jonathan Song of Sutarima and to Andrew Scott Ingram. Gotta
Yeah,
get the full version.
I
Mike
guess.
Harris. I'm just Mike. And I'm going to leave the studio audience members a mystery. It's not really much of a mystery, but see you next time.
Bye, guys.
This bee is a menace.
Nah, man, he's just doing his due diligence. We can also go that way or this way, whatever you need us to do.
Smokin' Poetry Podcast is back, and
Outside.
yeah. And Andrew keeps coming on the show to do this co-hosting and photography and yelling from the audience. And he was a guest, but we didn't really get a proper interview because it was a short one.
Oh, yeah, that was a weird episode that didn't go out for like months. And I was there to promote a party that I went on your podcast to promote a party that was happening 5 days after we recorded, and I think the episode went up 6 months later.
It was part of the New Year's Eve special.
Yeah, it was fun.
Which we got
Yeah.
out in like June.
Yeah.
Due to various, ultimately my responsibility and my not getting it done, but we're getting it done. And Andrew demanded a proper interview.
I have been telling you this entire time. I feel like all the co-hosting I've done is just me being on the show. Like, I don't feel like it's any different than being a guest. But hi everyone, I'm a guest this time.
Well, this is the time where I make you cry and talk about your feelings. What do you want to talk about?
Well, here's the cool news. I don't have tear ducts that work. So even if I was crying, you wouldn't know it.
I thought you were gonna say feelings.
He also does.
No, I have.
Do you have feelings, Andrew?
You can't prove it. No, of course I have feelings. I have all of the feelings all of the time forever.
Like hunger and horniness.
Yeah, hunger and horniness mainly. The man feelings, the real feelings, the ones that matter.
Get in our face for these questions. So I'm gonna have to do some audio boosting to see if that works. But do you have had like issues with relationships because you don't cry or visibly? Does this happen?
No, I find that I have to. I love the approaching just as a photographer. Like, I appreciate what you're doing right now. It's we're coming in for the emotional close-up.
Yeah.
It's made me more, I think, outwardly honest, vocal about my emotions because I can't like express them facially. Maybe, I can't cry, so I have to talk.
I could just see women like in a breakup trying extra hard to make it heard. Has that ever been I could just
It's like I'm gonna be the one.
I could see that like psychological thing happening.
Every girl I've ever dated has been mean, and like not like I think I'm kind of into it, but like I also think that maybe that's part of it. Maybe you've hit on something important. Like they're attracted to me because they want to be the one that makes me cry.
So if
we're getting to some breakthroughs right here on the
sh-
Smokin' Poetry podcast.
maybe we can get Andrew a date.
Let's not do that.
Sure as hell
I
get
can
it.
get I can get my own dates. Thank you.
I sure as hell can't. But the tip we now know is don't be nice to him. No, be very mean.
I think the girls who like me know that already. Yeah.
Well, maybe we could get a breakthrough and find someone nice. Well, what else are? Huh?
But a little bit. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
A pinch of spice.
Yeah, a pinch of. Look. All I ask is that you know, if you're throwing shit, you know how to take it. If you're talking shit, I'm gonna talk back. Because it's fun. It's fun to be mean.
Speaking of taking shit, what you been up to?
Oh, life's just been taking a shit lately. I don't want to. Can we not like talk? I guess we can talk about it, but can we not make that this entire thing?
No.
Yeah, because like
No, we're
yeah.
not. That's not what I mean.
Yeah.
How do I dig myself
It's
out
like
of this?
no, you're not in trouble. I'm
Just
just.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay.
He murdered a guy.
I don't know. I don't really know. By the way,
No,
Jonathan, great episode. You did a very good job. Okay, just brief recap. This is my favorite place I've ever done a podcast. I love this more than anything.
Talking about it
Yeah.
all right now, and then people would be
Yeah.
able to hear it, and
Yeah.
then when
That
the
would have
voice
been a
was done,
great
you'd have
great
been
bit.
and
Yeah.
that's what happened.
That would have been Forrest Gump. That
Right.
would have been. That's the
But
scene
you
from
didn't take
Forrest Gump.
advantage
Yeah.
of the moment.
I didn't. I fucked up.
Yeah,
God.
you sure did.
If
'cause
I were- If I were
honest-
any higher or any less high, I would have done it. And I'm just
see how
the
it
yeah.
works. If I can boost that thing and turn out the noise.
That's true. You don't know what I'm saying unless I read lips. You can kill my voice and have the
Oh, that's an idea.
yeah. We could just do it in post. We do the joke in post.
But it would
Look,
have been better organically.
yeah, no, that's bullshit.
Organically,
Comedy,
always better.
yeah.
That's why it's more
But like,
expensive.
I mean, I think everybody knows comedies are made in post. Seth Rogen talks about it. Other famous comedy people talk about it. You know, you just do it in post. If the joke didn't happen on the day, you figure out how to make it work. You know, you throw shit in off camera. You do it. You're right. It's a good joke, Jonathan. We should do that. We'll just fake it. Comedy is about the lies you tell.
Speaking about comedy, what do you do in comedy? Is there any comedy things that you're looking
Man,
for?
I'm not
What are you
doing shit.
You can
Like
you can tell jokes, no?
yeah, I'm telling jokes. If you want to book me. But I don't have anything on the books right now.
Well, how do
Yeah.
people find you to book you?
You can find me on Instagram at Andrew Ingram 88. I promise I'm not a Nazi. That's just the year I was born. I didn't know that Nazis would come back when I made my Instagram. Let's see. You can find me on Facebook. You can call me if you have my number.
Is that Spotify, YouTube thing?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah. Hey, so the thing about the
All right. Oh, that was the best one I ever heard. You're never gonna repeat that. Get it that good again. Anyways,
I'll never be that funny again. I'm gonna retire from show business.
Anyways,
Yeah.
but for the people who want to see the old stuff,
Check out Spotify. You check out my comedy album on Spotify. I haven't plugged that in a while.
let's plug that.
It's called This Was a Bad Idea because I recorded it 5 years into stand-up, which is not a good time to record a stand-up album, honestly, but I wanted to do it because I believe in punk rock. And I listened to it about a month and a half ago, and I stand by the jokes. The jokes are funny. My performance was okay. I'm better at performing now, but I think the jokes are good.
And for the
Yeah.
and to make it easy for the stalkers who really want to find good stuff.
Yeah.
What about YouTube? Are you still on that?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I haven't really been putting anything up on YouTube. Mainly, I do podcasts and stuff on Spotify. I haven't been posting them on YouTube.
Okay. Because I saw an old version of you out there.
Yeah, I have one stand-up clip that I posted to YouTube, and then some bad stand-up clips that other people posted to YouTube that I wish they would take down, but they won't.
Well, since they're up, see all the stuff
Yeah,
Andrew
sure.
is embarrassed about.
Yeah, go
and
see
comment
go
and
see
tell us.
videos of me doing stand-up 2 years into comedy. That's a good idea. Okay,
8
yeah, go ahead,
minutes.
pause
Oh,
it.
yeah.